What if I told you that every time you send that second text, that little thinking of you message when she hasn't replied, you are actively and methodically destroying any chance you ever had with her? It's not just coming off as a little needy. It's far more brutal than that. You are flipping a switch in her brain, a switch that kills attraction stone dead. Think of it as a psychological kill switch for desire. And you, my friend, are the one pressing it over and over again. We've all been there, haven't we? Your thumb hovering over the send button, your heart doing a drum solo against your ribs. You send the message, and then the abyss. Silence. You stare at the screen, a tiny digital window into your own personal hell. You see her online. The green dot mocks you. You see the read receipt, a silent confirmation that you are being consciously ignored. Every minute that ticks by feels like an hour. Every hour feels like a geological age. Your mind becomes a torture chamber of self-doubt. Did I say something wrong? Was the joke not funny? Maybe her phone died. Maybe she's in a coma. No, she's not in a coma. She's just not thinking about you. And in that moment, a wave of panic washes over you, and you do the one thing that guarantees your failure. You send another message, a follow-up, a just checking in, a pathetic little white flag of surrender to your own anxiety. You think you're showing you care. You think you're being persistent. But what you're actually communicating is that you have nothing else going on in your life. That your entire emotional state, your happiness, your sense of self-worth is completely dependent on her response. You are handing her all of your power on a silver platter. Well, today we are taking that power back. Today we are going to talk about why you must never, under any circumstances, message her again after she goes silent. This isn't a tactic. This isn't a game. This is a fundamental shift in your reality, a rewiring of your entire approach to dating and to your own life. This is the moment you stop being the chaser and start becoming the one who is chased. The first and most critical lesson you must burn into your soul is the profound, earth-shattering power of the void. Her silence is not an invitation for you to talk more. Her silence is the answer. It is a loud, clear, unambiguous message that says, "I am not interested enough to reply right now." And your biggest mistake, the mistake that 99% of men make, is desperately trying to fill that silence. You rush in with more words, more jokes, more questions, trying to plug the void because it makes you uncomfortable. You cannot stand the tension. But what you fail to understand is that the tension is your greatest ally. The silence is your most potent weapon. Think about the last movie you watched that ended on a cliffhanger. You couldn't stop thinking about it, could you? Your brain craved a resolution. This is a psychological principle known as the Zeigarnik effect. Our minds are wired to obsess over incomplete tasks and unresolved loops. When you stop messaging, you create an open loop in her mind. You become the cliffhanger. You become the unresolved mystery. Her brain, on a subconscious level, will be forced to ask, "Wait, what happened to him? He's usually so available." You've gone from being a predictable, boring notification on her screen to an enigma. You're no longer the salesperson following her around the store, desperately asking if she needs help. You've walked out of the store entirely, and now she's the one left wondering where you went. When you constantly barrage her with messages, you are giving her all the information. You are completing the task for her. There is no mystery, no curiosity, no reason for her to invest any mental energy in you. But when you embrace the void, when you let that silence stretch, you force her to engage. She has to wonder. She has to think about you. Even if it's just for a fleeting moment, you have occupied real estate in her mind, and you did it by doing absolutely nothing. Your silence is a statement of confidence. It says, "My life is so full and exciting that I don't have the time or the emotional need to wait by my phone for your reply. I sent my message, and now I've moved on to other things." This is infinitely more attractive than the desperate plea of a double text. So ask yourself, do you want to be the annoying jingle she can't get out of her head, or the powerful silent protagonist who makes her wonder what his next move will be? Your new secret weapon isn't a clever line. It's the deafening power of your own absence. This leads us directly to the second phase, the great reversal. When you create that void, when you cease all communication, you set the stage for a seismic shift in the power dynamic. It's not just about making her curious. It's about giving her the space and the opportunity to notice that you are gone. Think about it. We are creatures of habit. If you are always the one to text first, to make plans, to initiate conversation, you have conditioned her to expect it. Your attention is a given. It's like the sun rising in the morning. It's always there, so she never has to think about it or appreciate it. But what happens when the sun doesn't rise? Suddenly everyone notices. When you step back, you pull that reliable, predictable source of validation away from her. You introduce a pattern break. At first, she might not even notice. She's busy. She has other guys texting her. Guys who are still making the same mistakes you used to make. But then a day goes by, then two, then a week. And the silence, the void you created, starts to grow. It starts to have weight. Her subconscious mind will start flagging your absence. A little notification will pop up in her brain. Error 404, validation not found. She'll start asking herself questions. I haven't heard from him. Is he mad at me? Did he meet someone else? That seed of doubt is the beginning of the reversal. It's not about playing games. It's a profound demonstration of self-respect. It's you, non-verbally, telling her, I am willing to meet you halfway, but I am not willing to run the entire marathon for you. Here's the brutal, beautiful truth you must accept. If she doesn't notice your absence, if she can go weeks without hearing from you and it doesn't even register, then you have your answer. She was never truly interested in the first place, and you were just wasting your time on a dead-end street. Your absence is the ultimate litmus test. It filters out the women who are genuinely interested from those who are just enjoying the ego boost of your constant attention. And isn't it better to know the truth now, rather than investing weeks or months chasing a ghost? By stepping back, you either make her realize what she's missing, or you reveal to yourself that there was nothing there to miss. It's a win-win situation for you. So while you're letting that silence work its magic, it's time to shift your focus from her screen to your own life. This brings us to the most crucial part of this entire process. The part that will transform you from a boy waiting for a text into a king building his empire. We'll call it the hero's journey. The fatal flaw in most men's thinking is that they see this period of no contact as a passive waiting game. They sit there, white-knuckling their phone, counting the minutes until she just might, reach out. This is wrong. This is pathetic. This period of silence is not about her. It's about you. This is your training montage. This is where you stop being the supporting character in her life story and become the undeniable magnetic hero of your own. All that nervous energy you were wasting. Checking your phone every 30 seconds, rereading old conversations, deciphering the hidden meaning behind a punctuation mark. You are going to channel that energy like a laser beam into forging a new you. I don't mean just go to the gym. I mean declare war on the man you were yesterday. Become obsessed with your own potential. What is that one thing you've always wanted to do? Learn a new language? Start a business? Master an instrument? Train for a martial arts competition? Do it. Now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Every hour you spend building your body, your mind, your finances, your social circle, is an hour you are not spending thinking about her. And a funny thing happens when you do this. You actually start to forget about her. She becomes a smaller and smaller part of your world because your world is expanding at an exponential rate. Your purpose becomes your new obsession. I heard a story about a guy who was heartbroken after a girl ghosted him. He was devastated. Instead of wallowing, he poured all that pain and frustration into learning how to code. He spent the next 6 months living like a monk, studying, building projects, networking. By the time the girl circled back with a casual, "Hey stranger" text, he was in the final stages of launching his own app. He had completely transformed. He looked at her message, and for the first time he felt nothing. No anger, no excitement, just indifference. He was a different man, and that version of him was no longer interested in the person who couldn't see his value before. When you embark on your hero's journey, you develop an aura of purpose. It's an energy that people can feel. You walk differently. You talk differently. You carry yourself with a weight and a presence that is intensely attractive. You're no longer seeking validation from others because you are validating yourself every single day through your actions and your discipline. So what's more satisfying? Staring at a blank screen, praying for a crumb of attention from someone who doesn't care, or building a life so incredible that her validation becomes completely and utterly irrelevant? The choice is yours. As you progress on your hero's journey, something magical begins to happen. You gain what I call the unfiltered truth. When you are infatuated with someone, your perception is clouded. You are high on the drug of potential. You don't see the reality of the situation. You see a fantasy of what you hope it could be. You ignore the red flags. You make excuses for her low-effort replies. You interpret a single emoji as a sign of deep emotional connection. This emotional intoxication prevents you from seeing the truth. But when you step back, when you create distance and focus on yourself, you begin to sober up. It's like cleaning a filthy window. As you wipe away the grime of your own neediness and desperation, you start to see the landscape clearly for the first time. You can look at the data of your interactions with her objectively. You realize her replies were always short and non-committal. You realize she never asked you any meaningful questions about your life. You realize you were the one carrying 100% of the conversational burden. You see with chilling clarity that her actions never matched the fantasy you had built in your head. This clarity is a gift. It's painful at first, like setting a broken bone, but it is necessary for healing and growth. This isn't just about understanding her. It's about understanding yourself. You start to recognize your own patterns. You see how quickly you place women on a pedestal, how you sacrifice your own standards for a bit of attention. You are forced to confront the parts of yourself that are weak and needy. And by confronting them, you can begin to change them. You define your non-negotiables. You create your own set of standards for what you will and will not accept from a partner. You are no longer a ship without a rudder, tossed around by the waves of her approval. You have a destination. You know what you want. You know what you deserve. And once you have that level of self-awareness and clarity, you are no longer willing to settle for breadcrumbs. You want the whole damn meal. This newfound clarity arms you for the final and most important stage of this process, the moment she inevitably reaches out. So, let's play this out. You've embraced the void. You've embarked on your hero's journey. You've gained the unfiltered truth. You are a different man. Then one day your phone buzzes. It's her. A text out of the blue. Hey, how have you been? Or the classic, thinking about you. The old you would have had a heart attack. You would have replied in 5 seconds flat with an overly enthusiastic, multi-paragraph essay. But not the new you. The new you sees this message for what it is. It is not a declaration of love. It is not a sincere apology. It is a probe, a feeler. She's testing the waters to see if you are still a reliable source of validation. She's bored, or her other options fell through, and she's wondering if you're still sitting on the bench, waiting to be put in the game. Your job now is to understand that you are no longer on the bench. You own the damn team. This is not a conversation. It is an audition, and she is the one auditioning for a role in your life. So how do you respond? You respond from the throne of power. First, you wait. You don't reply immediately. You have a life now. You're busy. Let at least a few hours pass, maybe even a day. When you do reply, you are calm, cool, and unaffected. You mirror her energy. If she sends a 3-word text, you send a 3-word text. Your response should be something simple and casual, like doing great, been busy with some new projects. Hope you're well. That's it. No questions. You put the ball immediately back in her court. You force her to be the one to invest, to move the conversation forward. You will be the first one to end the conversation. After a few messages back and forth, you are the one who says, "Hey, gotta run. Was good hearing from you." You leave her wanting more. You have reestablished the frame. You are the prize. You are the one with the busy, important life. If she is genuinely interested, she will put in the effort. She will ask you questions. She will suggest meeting up. And if she does, you don't jump at the first opportunity. You make her work for it a little. You are in control. And here is the most important part. You must be willing to walk away again. If her effort drops, if she goes back to her old low investment patterns, you go back to silence, instantly. You have demonstrated that your attention is a gift, and it can be taken away if it is not valued. This isn't about being cruel. It's about having standards. The right person for you won't make you play these games. The right person will match your energy from the beginning. This entire journey is a filtering process to get rid of the ones who don't, so you can make space for the one who will. Ultimately, this entire process, from the moment you decide to stop texting to the moment she reaches out, is not about her. It never was. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your power, your dignity, and your self-respect. Every time you choose to walk away from someone who doesn't see your value, you are casting a vote for yourself. You are sending a powerful message to the universe and, more importantly, to your own subconscious mind, that you deserve better. You are refusing to settle. Think of every great story of triumph in history. It always begins with a single moment of decision. The moment someone decides they are worth more. The moment they stop accepting the unacceptable. This is your moment. This is your turning point. You can continue to be the guy who anxiously waits for a reply, whose mood for the entire day is dictated by a notification on a screen. Or you can be the man who builds a life so fulfilling, so rich with purpose and passion, that a text message from any single person becomes a minor detail, not the main event. The right woman will not make you question your worth. She won't make you guess, wonder, or chase. She will see the empire you've built, and she will want to be a part of it. She will meet you halfway, but you will never find her if you are still wasting your time and energy trying to convince the wrong person to see your light. So stop chasing, stop waiting, stop decoding mixed signals, stop being a fan and start being the star of your own movie. Become the man you were meant to be. Because when you finally focus on yourself, when you truly know your own worth, you don't just change the game, you become the game. The choice is yours. You can go back to staring at your phone, a prisoner of hope, or you can slam the door on that pathetic reality and start building your empire. The next move isn't on your phone, it's in the mirror. So what are you going to do about it? Let me know in the comments below what's the first step you're taking to reclaim your power.